pregame show, brought to you by Kia.
This is 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here. Welcome, everybody. We have the great Shaquille O'Neal and the equally great, in some minds, Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, we'll be watching the Milwaukee Bucks playing against the Suns out in Phoenix.
That's a great look at our location tonight. The home of the Suns here in downtown Phoenix. We've got the Milwaukee Bucks and the Phoenix Suns. Thank you for being with us, too. And before we get going, let's hear from David Aldridge on the sideline. David?
Well, Kevin, we know here in Atlanta, Mike Budenholzer has assumed the dual role of coach and GM of the Atlanta Hawks. Tough task, but
he's done a terrific job, Dave. Thank you.
And clearly the Bucks, one of the more youthful teams in the league. The players they plan to build around have a few years before they're even in their mid-20s, so a bright future. I mean, their youth can be good and bad. It kind of cuts both ways during the season.
Tip-off goes to Milwaukee. Here are the starters for Milwaukee. They've got Chris Middleton. Portis is out there with P.J. Tucker. Then it's Holiday, and it's Lopez in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Holiday gets the bucket. And with the double-edged sword of youth, the Bucks have just been trying to focus on getting better and growing their talent the last year or two.
And I like that approach. I think it's the right approach to take with a team like this. Getting them to learn what it takes to be a consistent player in the NBA is huge. I mean, letting them come together organically and having leaders emerge has been part of the process. It takes a little longer that way, but I think it is more of a solid foundation when you start competing in playoff basketball.
And so he hits the technical free throw. There's a screen. Here's Paul. Makes a big high bounce and goes in.
Pick wasn't ultra effective, but it got him just enough room for the score.
And Holiday kicks to Middleton. Puts up a three. That shot missing. The Suns go the other way with it. Defended by Middleton. Lets it go from 14. It's rebounded by Portis. Milwaukee's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Dishes to Middleton. There's the pass to Lopez. Here's Portis, defended by Paul. Clock is at 3. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
Used all 7 feet and about 1/3 of a ton to get that one up and down. And, you know, one thing that Lopez wants to develop is his ability to create shots for his teammates. I mean, that's an important focal point offensively for him and his team.
When you draw the attention that he does. Inside. Lopez, with all those double teams he's getting, you have to be able to punish teams for sending help.
Yeah, exactly. You need good shooting around him, good spacing, because he does require typically 2 guys to try to stop him because of his repertoire of moves, his size, and his touch.
And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game.
And I think it's safe to say at this point that Chris Paul is one of the all-time greats at that point guard position. Just so strong in his ability to lead a team both offensively and defensively. And, you know, you get everything you want from him as a lead guard. I mean, he's not afraid of the big moment. also willing to be that vocal leader that you often need at times. Let's see if ultimately he can be rewarded with a chance to play for a championship.
Shots good by Middleton.
Presence of mind, really important. You know, this game is more mental than physical. And Middleton is a guy who stays in the moment. He's exceptional at knocking down a good shot off a good pass.
You talk about Paul as one of the great point guards. He led the way in the NBA for a long time as it became a more guard-centric league. And you know all about guard play.
Yeah, great point. And you talk to the other guards around the NBA, and they'll recognize Paul as a pathfinder for this generation. Everyone admires his competitiveness and attention to detail. And when it's all said and done, history will look kindly on his accomplishments.
First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in. The Bucks working the ball around.
Absolutely awesome to watch Antetokounmpo rise up for these throwdowns. I mean, it's really quite easy for him.
Ball outside to the inside. Phoenix, no good that time either.
Boy, they were ready for him right there. I mean, totally collapsed the defense on him.
Middleton, the pass to Holiday. Defended by Crowder. Lopez, a screen. That one's no good. That makes him 1 for 2. Suns trail by 4. Crowder dishes to Paul. Pass to Bridges. To the paint. Looking for Crowder. He gets it there. Lopez covering. That one's in. His first bucket of the game. He's 1 for 2.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
Well, I think it's got to serve notice to the defense that it's going to take a much stronger effort than that to contain this guy today. They've got to bring more force if they're going to try to slow him down.
Takes a 3. Offensive rebound. And Middleton kicks to Lopez. Middleton outside. Defended by Crowder. And again, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
How about the head of steam he's able to generate right there and just gets to the rack really easy.
You really don't want to allow him to get too comfortable, but even with stifling defense, he's going to still find a way to get it in the basket.
Paul with the ball, and Holiday picks him up defensively. Paul passes to Crowder. Good for the basket, starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
I'll tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
Outside Holiday. They set the screen. Off the pick. Second chance shot. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Man, that was a remarkable pump fake from Antetokounmpo. I mean, he's really good at selling that shot fake.
The Bucks shooting their second and third shots at the line right here. That free throw missing.
You know, one of the hardest things to do is to live up to the word potential when it's thrown around a player for so long. That was certainly the case with Antetokounmpo for most of his career. I mean, he's lived up to the hype and is realizing everything that fans hoped he would become when he first started his journey in the NBA.
As you said, potential can be a curse at times. So many players fizzle out after flashing moments of greatness. Giannis is living up to the hype.
Yeah, and I think you've got to give his coaching staff a lot of credit for that because they've been believers in Antetokounmpo throughout his career, and that helps, especially with a young player. They've brought him along, I think, at just the right pace. Took some time to figure out how best to use such a unique talent with his size, but I think he's got a great upside and will be a real force for years to come.
Hits the three-point bomb.
And he is really in a zone right now, playing and scoring with confidence.
Payne dishes to Moore. To the middle. It's intercepted. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. Count that bucket.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Greg, you're exactly right. I mean, everything seems to be dropping. Impressive scoring here.
Here's Payne. Here's Saric. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. It goes on Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Suns have made 3 free throws so far. Haven't missed any. First free throw is good. And so Saric nails them both.
And among NBA bigs, he is known for his ability to deliver at the free throw line.
Carter against T. This one for 3. And no good trying to get that one. No shortage of scoring here at the end of the first quarter. The Bucks on top, up by 5. And the second quarter will be on the way when we come back. And earlier, Chris Paul told us about the depth of their roster. So important for any team.
Our bench is amazing. It's so exciting because when our bench comes in, more often than not, if we're losing, they're going to get us the lead. And if we have the lead, they're going to increase the lead. And it's fun to watch because everybody cheers for each other, too.